Japanorama.
Hello, konnichiwa, and welcome to Japanorama, coming to you from a country where no one pronounces the letter R properly. Now, most of us had our first exposure to Japan via the rubber suit monster movies of the 1960s, but today, Japan leads the world in the fine art of scarification. So come with me as we take a look at Japanese culture through the spooky, cobwebbed window of Ghost, Who a Monster. Tonight, a huge horror hit. A huge, horrible bomb. And meet the Beavis and Butthead of Japanese goth.
Japanorama.
Ever since the 1950s, there has only been one world-famous rubber-suited Japanese monster. Godzilla was spawned from atomic radiation. And almost 50 years on, Godzilla continues to battle other rubber monsters and to destroy specially selected Japanese cities.
Godzilla has entered Tokyo Bay.
Godzilla is heading for Kasumigaseki.
It's now in Kagoshima Bay.
Japanese cities crave the publicity that comes with a visit from Godzilla. And Saitama, with its brand new city centre, is a perfect setting for some Godzillian demolition, which is just what local town planner Tetsuo Takahashi is hoping to set into motion.
So far, Godzilla has destroyed most of the famous architecture in Japan. Saitama New Urban Center is the only place he hasn't destroyed. We sent our proposal to Toho, Godzilla's film production company. Apparently, a lot of cities are doing the same thing. But what we did was send them an original script to give them a more precise idea. And they found this an unusual approach. With this stick here, I will show you how Godzilla will destroy Saitama city center. Godzilla appears from the south and destroys each building. He appears with the Godzilla theme song. Then he finds a new building. He turns around and hits the building. The people run around screaming everywhere. He torches two buildings. Godzilla loves train stations. He destroys the whole station, and the people there are in a big panic. There is a bullet train by his side, and he picks up each coach and throws them everywhere. And that is my idea of Godzilla demolishing the Saitama New Urban City.
So, what did the professionals make of that?
We haven't heard back from the Toho company.
Well, Japanorama decided to give Saitama a helping hand. We brought the two most recent Godzilla actors to Saitama for a brainstorming session. Kenpachiro Satsuma was Godzilla from 1984 till 2000. He is the most famous and prolific Godzilla actor of all time.
When I got the part, I was thinking how to achieve my own original Godzilla, rather than how to imitate the former Godzillas. I went to the zoo to study the stumps of the elephant, the backstretch of the gorilla, and the roar of the tigers. I put everything together and then shaped it into my own original Godzilla. Satsuma Godzilla.
Mitsuho Yoshida is treading into Mr. Satsuma's gigantic footsteps, having recently appeared in his first Godzilla film.
Godzilla is a national and international hero. I am so proud to do this world-famous character. At the same time, the amount of pressure I get is huge. I don't want to be told this new Godzilla is rubbish.
It's rare to find this kind of new city. It's definitely worth destroying. What do you think about the NTT Docomo building? I want Godzilla to climb up the building, since it's about 100 meters high. I want him to tear the antenna off and throw it away.
Well, the Godzilla I did was 100 meters high. It would be difficult to climb up the building because he weighs about 60,000 tons. It would be more realistic if he turns like this and hits the building with his tail. He doesn't climb buildings.
I see. What do you think?
Well, it's quite a high building, but he wouldn't need his full power to destroy it. For Godzilla, such a building is just a piece of wood. So he would grab it and break it in two and throw it away.
Oh, really? I see. Did you write that down? Let's move on.
We asked the locals what they thought.
I think it will be a very good thing if that happens. I work up there 8 hours a day and the windows don't even open.
Shall I avoid it and stomp around it?
Oh, yes, please, if you could.
I'll do my best.
Looking back with 20/20 hindsight, we only tried to play our part.
So let's compare how the two Godzilla actors might destroy Saitama. The younger Yoshida kicks off with an impressive right jab. And, oh yes, a classic stomp. He's widening his stance. Looks like, oh, hold on, look at Satsuma. He's taken the building into his mouth. He has the building in his mouth. Let's take another look at that.
The Satsuma style became the true Godzilla, you know, and I couldn't defeat that. He's the greatest and most influential.
This week, we will study the meanings of numbers. The number 4 stands for death, and we dislike 4. The number 8 is the multiple of 4. By multiplying, it means future lasting, and we consider it a lucky number. The number 9 stands for suffering, and people avoid this number. And these are the main meanings of the numbers.
Japanorama.
Perhaps a teeny bit more than any other culture, the Japanese tend to believe in a spiritual afterlife. So it's no surprise that these beliefs have inspired a lot of great ghost movies. To me, the classic is Kwaidan, which means scary stories. Made back in 1964, it's a collection of 4 traditional ghost stories, filmed in glorious colour. Each tells of an encounter between ghost and human, and each inevitably ends with the human getting the worst of the exchange. In one story, a man abandons his wife, then returns years later to her ghost and its creepy hair. In another, a man is haunted by a ghost that keeps showing up in his teacup. And then there's the man who gets rescued by a snow ghost on the condition that he never tells anyone. And, well, Big Mouth strikes again. Standing amongst a new crop of ghost stories is Scarecrow, in which a Japanese J-Lo finds herself in a sinister village where inhospitable ghosts inhabit a bunch of scarecrows. Visually inspired by the Coen brothers, St John's Wort is a haunted house film with a computer game twist. In it, an evil twin takes aim on a game designer who gets caught in his own game. Now, many of these new films are based on traditional Japanese ghost stories, but 7 recent features and 2 television series have all been based on one modern novel, and one of those films really hit the jackpot. By far the most successful recent Japanese horror film is Ring, the tale of a ghost who lives on videotape and travels like a chain letter. Everybody who views the tape must send a copy to someone else within 7 days or die.
一番大きくはやはりそのリングの貞子ってゴーストが
The main ghost in Ring is a girl called Sadako. As in several traditional ghost stories, she got murdered and thrown into a well. This is very similar to the famous ghost story Rancho Sarahashiki from the Edo period. What we did with Sadako's character is that we tried to avoid showing the human side of her in order to make her more scary. Sadako still has both her feet, which is unusual with Japanese ghosts. But she does have the common look of most Japanese female ghosts, who have long hair and wear white Japanese dresses.
In Nakata's sequel, Ring 2, we get to meet Sadako's mother, a woman with extremely creepy but fun psychic powers.
In order to frighten the audience, we would keep the atmosphere very quiet for a while, then use sharp and loud sounds to give them a shock. It's a very simple technique, really.
Based on a novel by Koji Suzuki, the Japanese Stephen King, Ring was an international sensation. A Hollywood remake comes out later this year. Pretty scary, eh? Well, if your heart's still beating, you'll want to stay tuned for the chills yet to come. And even if it isn't, try and stay sitting upright, because then you still count in the ratings. Still to come, real-life horror expressed in anime. A fertile young artist gives birth to hell babies. And a horrifying rock band and its rabid fans.
B じゃ。え？ B に塾じゃ。本当じゃ。
Altitude, nearing 3,600 feet.
We've got a fix on the target, sir. Standing by to release payload.
Roger. Release the bomb.
Releasing bomb.
Hiroshima Memorial Park is dedicated to the victims of the atomic bomb that was dropped here at the end of World War II. Keiji Nakasawa was 6 years old at the time. He survived the bomb blast and witnessed its horrifying aftermath.
The atomic bomb exploded 600 meters above that building, and that's the ruin it became. It's the only building that remains standing after the bomb. Victims jumped into the river here in order to drink the water as a reaction to the burns they suffered. They all sank into the water as a result. The bones of the deceased still remain there.
Barefoot Gen is the manga that Nakasawa created when his mother, the only other family member to survive, died in the late 60s. In an even-handed manner, it tells of his life before the bomb and the struggle with its deadly repercussions. It was one of the first Japanese manga to be translated into English and received worldwide acclaim.
The school gate was right over here, and it used to lead to the railway track. I used to walk along the walls here, and on August the 6th, when I just reached the entrance, just in front of the wall here, my classmate's mother came up to me. When the bomb went off, the wall protected me from the heat ray. My classmate's mother, who was standing only 1 meter away from me, was completely burnt and blown away by the blast. When I came round, I realized I had been blown away with the school wall. If the wall had collapsed on me, my body would have been crushed and I would have died. But a big tree fell in front of the wall and somehow made some room. That saved my life. I had a 6-inch nail stuck in my face, and this is the scar I got from that. It is a miracle I survived.
どうしたんじゃ？さっぱりわからんの。えい、わしの上になんでこんなもんが。やれやれ。うわ！どうしたんじゃ？しっかりするんじゃ。死んどる。誰か来てくれ。
My house was in the south of the city, so I ran in that direction to find my family.
一体どうしたんじゃ。うわ！
I then saw people with broken glass stuck in their faces and bodies. They were bleeding so heavily, I was shocked by the sight of them. The bomb blast was so powerful it could pop your eyes out. It was powerful enough to rip your stomach open, and as a result, people had their intestines and colons hanging out their bodies. But they were still crawling, trying to escape. I witnessed the march of the ghosts all around me.
お化けじゃ。みんなお化けじゃ。火事や。大変じゃ。うちのある方じゃ。お父ちゃん、お母ちゃん、お姉ちゃん、シンジ。
8月6日の
This is the place where my house used to be. I was born and brought up here until the 6th of August. My mother found my father, my sister, and little brother all underneath the rubble.
なんね、お母ちゃん。
本当にお父ちゃんも英子もシンジも死んだんじゃねえ。
おじゃ、死んでしもうたんじゃ。お母ちゃん、元気出してくれや。わしがお父ちゃんの分も頑張るけ。よし、ここに家を作るんじゃ。
Today, Nakasawa works with the International Barefoot Gen Foundation to communicate the horrible reality of nuclear weapons.
そして
The very message I've been trying to convey should be addressed to those individuals and countries who make frantic efforts to create nuclear weapons. My passion for work comes from anger and frustration. I just want to say to them, do you really know what will happen?
If you were to pass manga artist Junko Mizuno on the street, you'd have no idea what was going on in her head. Maybe it would be a cool, macabre reworking of a fairy tale like her Cinderella or Hansel and Gretel. Or maybe she'd be dreaming up a new Hell Baby. Junko's combination of cartoon cute and psychedelic horror has gripped the cult comic circuit. I hear you have a collection of inspirational figures. I think I see them now. Wow. Do you use these for inspiration? Do you actually sometimes work from the models themselves? How do you work with the toys?
Yes, I do get inspiration from these toys. It's not just toys and dolls, but I wouldn't be able to draw anything without them.
I love the Cinderella strip you're doing at the moment, but I really love the Hell Babies book. And the colours, seeing you work in colour was such a lovely thing. Will your work be animated, do you know?
I don't want to lose control of what I draw. There are no set plans for animating the cartoons, though I am very interested in it.
In your dreams, do you see things like the Hell Babies?
My dreams are more weird than Hell Babies. My dreams are either buying toys or spooky things.
You know what? The more I hear about you, the more I think we were meant to be together. Junko's dreams are becoming 3D reality. She's come to check out the progress on a prototype doll.
Nice boots.
Her first batch is about to go on sale in America and Japan. This shop sells dolls and toys to hardcore collectors.
Junko's really talented, and her comic has a real fascination because comics have a power which goes beyond language. I'm sure she will be a superstar in the near future.
And if you haven't already noticed, Junko also designed the graphics for this program. This little geisha. Oh, that's so beautiful. This guy I love as well. How long does it take you to do each one?
Well, it takes longer if I have other things to do, but maybe 2 days.
I like this one. It looks like sort of the son of Elvis eating a skull kebab. Is that blood coming off there?
It's dipping sauce.
That's not a bad idea for a restaurant. This looks rather like my wife. Not with the syringe, obviously. Yunka, thank you so much. Domo arigato gozaimasu.
Japanorama.
Dir Grey is the latest gothic horror-inspired rock band to corrupt Japanese youth.
We are a rock band. We don't think we are a gothic band. We often get asked if we like Marilyn Manson. We don't care about Marilyn Manson. And I personally don't like what he does.
Ah yes, they are so not goth. But on stage and in videos, Dir Grey strives to shock with gory images and lyrics. Since forming in 1997, they've racked up a run of hits with such titles as Embryo and Filth. Singer Kyo writes the lyrics, stretching for the most extreme imagery.
I get kicks out of other people's negative reactions to my lyrics. They get disgusted. It's also about issues that are taboo.
Perky J-pop it's not, but their fans love them all the more for it. A whole fashion trend has emerged, with Dir Grey fans dressing up like their heroes and strutting around Harajuku, Tokyo's trendy youth area.
This is meant to be the outfit of Toshia from Dir Grey. I can't do this kind of thing when I'm older, and I find beauty in the style.
Personally, I hate goth. And especially the Lolita style. Have you seen those? They wear ribbons in their hair.
Hello, I am dressed up as a strawberry Lolita.
That style's not for everyone.
Some of them are unfortunately not born to dress up like that.
You can mention that I am horrible and nasty in nature if you want.
Dir Grey are big in Japan and enormous in Asia, but they've got a message for lovers of eardrum-splitting, headache-inducing, filth-fetish death metal rockers everywhere.
If you don't mind getting eggs thrown at you or covered in my blood, we'd love you to come and see us play.
Well, I'm sure most of you have had your brains stir-fried by what you've seen tonight, but have we actually learned anything? Well, maybe we've learned this. Very frightening in a particular. Oyasumina-san, good night.
Up next on BBC Choice, music in Japan.